Hi, Jason Knott with CE Pro, and with me today is Joe Roberts, CEO of RTI, and we are talking about the Resimercial market. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Jason, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for joining me today. Let's jump right into it. So why is the RTI product line, from its interfaces to its AV distribution and beyond, so well suited for commercial applications as well as residential?
Well, it goes really back to the history of RTI. It started off with controlling a universal controller for the AV room, and which used to be the family room or the theater. And it was a device, started off as a remote control that can control anything that was in that room, whether it was whatever the devices were at the time. And RTI really got its experience in those years, 20 years ago, understanding how to talk to other people's devices. It was basically a single product company that was all about talking to other people's devices. And over the time, that has grown into creating some of the world's finest remotes and interfaces and having a platform that will talk to pretty much any other device on the planet. If there is any way to talk to a device, whether it is serial, IR, IP communication, any kind of contact closure, RTI has the ability of doing something with that and translating that into automation to where one event can lead to another. And it has grown very much in from a residential application into a true resimercial space, to where it's not just creating residential solutions in commercial applications, such as in a sports bar, where you can have a residential application could be distributed music in a sports bar. That very much is still a residential application. And RTI does that very, very well. But what RTI has also extended out to is into any non-residential applications, which is going to be true commercial, which is going to be office and corporate types of environments, and also into the hospitality industry, which is going to be sports bars, restaurants, hotels, nightclubs, and those types of areas. We're even recently, I've seen that we're having an uptick in luxury transportation with yachts and luxury motor coaches, which are still very much, those are a little bit more residential-like in nature. And what binds all of this together, in my belief, is the command and control platform that RTI provides. It is a unified interface that is not a one-size-fits-all. Yes, we include a template that is auto-programmed that everyone can use to start with. But one of the benefits of RTI is that that template can be modified to suit the specific needs of that application. So if it is in a hotel room, when we're doing hotels throughout the world, there can be, just for the items that are in that hotel room, we can actually have it branding from that hotel, branding from the integrator if you choose to have it. And you can choose size and placement with precision on all of our interfaces, whether it's a touchscreen, a remote, a tablet, any access for accessing that environment. We provide that ability to do it, and with precision design. And it can be done different from residential than it can be for commercial, which is really unique in our market.
That flexibility is so important because the commercial market is so complex. That same interface for a bar may not be what they want exactly in a house of worship or in a country club, or as you say, so that flexibility sounds great. Now, one of the interesting things about the Resimercial space is it's also defined by this need for robust enterprise grade solutions in the home market. The work from home space, obviously, this becomes so important during the pandemic. What are RTI solutions for that space?
Well, they're evolving, and we've had to turn, as you can expect. With COVID, it has opened up a lot of challenges and opportunities. And what we're seeing as we're talking now, last year when we would have had this conversation, Jason, I would have been in my office, right? And my office is at 2,000 miles away, and so I'm taking a call from home. We're finding that many businesses are providing access to the workforce to work from home. Some are requiring it. They're closing down their offices completely, and but employees still need to be as productive. And what's happening is those businesses or residences themselves are putting money into the technology at the home to make themselves productive. And that could be, I have a dedicated office here in my home, but there are people who don't, that they are sharing the dining room, which it is the dining room from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. But during the workday, it is someone's office. And what integrators are doing is they're making that office a productive office environment with lighting, with camera and audio control, to where you can actually have a productive workday in there and have it close up and have it be back to a dining room at night. And how RTI feeds into this is still providing that command and control, which I'll describe a little bit more on how you can actually use that space more productively. Like, the types of solutions that we provide for lighting, security, access. I mean, pretty much, again, if it's connected one way or another, we can control it. And it's moved far beyond that family room, living room of just AV control. It's into now a third-party camera device, conferencing solutions, and just being able to have it to where you can turn off other music throughout the house. You can adjust the lighting out there and still control your conferencing solution at the residence. Pouring over into the new commercial space, everywhere we turn, businesses are changing what their floor plan looks like. They're changing their environment in the office. You can't have people just in cubes the way it was, and open, where everyone is really close to each other. There's thankfully not the conference rooms where you pour 30 people in a room built for 16 people and have everyone attending that directly. There's huddle spaces. There's broader use of video conferencing, and you're using the office itself as an environment to get a handful of people together to where they can connect with employees abroad. And again, those same spaces still require or can use lighting, control, access, security, alarm, as well as all of the audio video equipment to have a productive environment for conference calls, as well as sharing video presentations and just consuming media of any kind. And where I'm very pleased to be at RTI is the experience that RTI has on that commercial space is great. Just from working with third-party companies, third-party manufacturers who make AV equipment, who make these conferencing solutions. We have direct drivers that we've written ourselves. There's a very vast driver developer community at RTI, to where if a new device pops up this week, very likely someone can be writing a driver about it, even before that product is released on the market. And so it really provides a platform that is easy to build to and easy to deploy and easy to support in that commercial space.
Mentioning that multi-purpose home office situation, it's so funny. You talk to people who never thought about the sound echo where they're sitting in their home office, or they never used their home office during the day. It was only during the light, or during the nighttime. So now they've got light streaming in that was never an issue before, that they've got to mitigate. So all these different things that need to be controlled, the camera that they never had in there before, it really does lend itself to having some sort of an interface or third-party control system like RTI.
It's surprising how important it is now, because you take it for granted when it's just your office provided it, and I remember back in, I don't know, quite a few years ago, when I was using a life-size system, I was so impressed because I was traveling to Taiwan a lot, traveling to the UK and Japan, and spending a decent amount of time in the air in my various sites that I had to visit. But there was also that we put in a life-size system. And once you build those relationships, it's like talking with you. It's just like you're in the room. I mean, you're sitting across the table from someone, and back then it reduced the amount of travel. Now we're seeing that this has been pushed out to all sizes of companies that have a distributed workforce, and almost all companies now have a distributed workforce. And it's important to have proper telephony. You need to have good lighting, good acoustics, and there's companies that make their mark on this world by having great DSP and great microphones, and integrating with those to have it be where you can have a successful conversation. You can communicate what you need to get by in business, and we're embracing all of that. It was not exactly what our plan was at the beginning of 2020 when I joined the business, but it became very clear that this is how we need to react as large businesses started changing their job requirements in terms of where people are going to work and what's going to do for telecommuting. It's an opportunity that has provided it's opportunity that has provided us time to think about what we want to do in this space and how are we going to help solve for this. One of the areas that we've added specifically for the US commercial is we have maybe 15 video distribution products in our portfolio of products that are RTI branded. And it covers many of the solutions that you need to be, whether it's HD-based-T distribution, if it is HDMI distribution, in an incredible video over IP distribution that is tightly integrated with our software integration designer, Apex. All of that works beautifully, but there's times when you need to go expand beyond the list of products that I just have mentioned there. And we've partnered with Bluestream specifically for the commercial space in the Americas, so we can have even a broader solution that's going to be addressing needs that are in that commercial and hospitality market segments, that we can deploy a full solution where RTI is providing command and control, in a lot of cases the signal management as well, but in other cases we can use our Bluestream products from Bluestream US that can actually extend that solution. Yes, we're still work with pretty much every signal management company there is. We have interfaces with all of those companies. It's just we've partnered with one that we can have a curated solution that's definitely going to work in the commercial space.
All right, so we've talked about the commercial space and some of the verticals there. We've talked about the work from home space. What is your advice for an integrators who are watching this? What is your advice for them in terms of where the market is heading for 2021 and what should be their focus?
Well, there's one more segment that I'm seeing more of, and it is in that hospitality. And I live here in Northern California, and I feel bad. Our businesses have been shut down. Our restaurants, our bars have been shut down for so many of these past months. And as they open, it's outdoor only with very minimal occupancy. And what I've seen, though, has been something that's been inspiring to me. I try to continue to support local businesses, as a lot of people in our industry have. Some of these businesses are establishing outdoor dining areas that started off as a simple, cheap tent, inexpensive tent that they're probably picking up at a Costco or something like that, to provide additional 4 tables outside. And what I've seen over this past year, Jason, is that these simple small tents have gotten to be built out to where they look more permanent, and that there's more table space. And in my own experience, which is only California because I haven't traveled for the past year, is that this outdoor dining space is essentially becoming their restaurant, the space of their overall restaurant. So it's, in some areas, it's becoming beautiful. It looks like being in a European street where they're closing down traffic, and they have outdoor dining at multiple restaurants that you can be sitting 6 feet apart from each other. Very good open air circulation. There's heaters, music is out there. And it started off again as a simple tent and cheap lights, but now it's becoming more and more quasi-permanent in that. And what I think that there's going to be an opportunity that people are experiencing this and enjoying dining in the outdoors and in that patio experience. and that there's going to be a lot of businesses that just treat their facilities as an indoor-outdoor facility, even if that is not the way it initially was zoned. And I imagine at local municipalities, they're going to be allowing a lot more of this than they have in the past, just to keep businesses in business. What I recommend to our AV integrators is embrace that and find a way to where you can help support those businesses and extend that ambiance to the outside, whether it's through lighting, security, certainly music, being able to have it be where you can connect into the POS system with the restaurant or the retailer, is to embrace those changes that are happening. It's not just retail. It's not just, it's not just residential, though residential is a massive opportunity as people are investing in their homes. But there's the commercial opportunity is changing. It's different than it was prior to 2020. And I think our industry is going to see a large opportunity here. And I hope that our integrators can jump on it as soon as possible.
Yeah, as you say, I think there's opportunities out there. It's been a tough situation for many clients out there, for some integrators, but this whole change that's taking place is really, I think, blossoming this Resimercial space. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about it today, Joe.
It's my pleasure, Jason. It's always good to see you, and appreciate everything you're doing for us in the industry.